Are we live yet?
You turn your mic on.
I'm in the right direction. I'm into this ocean. Traveling in slow motion. Paddling with no question. I'm in the right direction. I'm into this ocean. Traveling in slow motion. Paddling with no question.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Meet the Shoe. I'm Nina.
And I am Sade.
And today we're discussing how the fashion industry glorifies the pain of prison. Meaning that most of the people that's in the industry, whether they're actors or rappers or singers, always constantly mimic
Something.
the lives or something to do with prison. So
Right.
what I noticed was it was a big frenzy when Kanye West came out with the Yeezys, right? Mm-hmm. And that was in 2016. So everybody started getting on this wave of they wanted to, wear his shoes, right? They supported him like major. And to date, no, let's go back. In 2016, he sold 280,000, and then he put them on back, so he could sell them higher next time, right, for the next season,
Okay.
right? And then he came out with, in 2019, he came out with the Yeezy slides, right? That's the prison shower shoes.
Yes.
Right? And so they were first shoes that people were wearing in prison was through the Bob Barker company, right? And they make clothes, shoes, food, everything. Their whole bloodline is going to benefit off the backs of people's
In
pain
prison.
that in prison, right? And
That's
so
called what? Financial, building financial legacy.
they're building financial wealth for the rest of their
whatever.
family's generation.
Down
like it's gonna
generation
be
to generation.
passed down, right? So
Is Bob Barker still alive?
I'm unsure, but his money's still alive.
Oh, right. That almighty
His
dollar.
money is still generating.
yeah.
His money is still in the
What-
through his
Yeah.
generational family.
What's funny to me is I remember going into my first time going in jail, and they hand you that orange slipper. And it's
Right.
like, you got to wear these. And I'm looking at it like, I'm so green. That was my first time going to jail. I'm like, what's this for? You know what I'm saying? They gave you a pair of Chucks as well to
Right.
go to the gym.
Right.
And they had this orange shower shoe. And I'm looking at it like, okay, I guess I wear this inside the jail walking around,
Right.
But then they say, oh, you got to wear them in the shower too because you don't want to get a foot fungal
Right.
or anything like that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm like, oh, man, so I got to wear them in the shower. They're going to be wet. And then come out and walk around them in the day room or whatever like that. But contrary to your belief, those things get dry quick.
Right.
I mean, hey, you just wear it and it squeaks.
Squeak, right.
Oh, my
that's
God.
why I started laughing because what we would do was we would get extra towels, right? And so we would put the towels inside the shoes,
Okay.
right? And sometimes we would have a hookup in the laundry, right? And this was in the county jail, right?
Right.
When I was in the county jail. In prison, you could, finesse your way into getting a couple different pair of shower shoes. You couldn't get caught with them up under your bed.
And what happens
but-
when you get caught? If you got caught with a pair of extra
Oh,
orange
you would get
slippers.
a shot. You would get a shot, meaning that you would get something taken away. You would get some type of
Privilege,
disciplinary action towards whatever. Sometimes it wasn't really federal. It wasn't like really serious, right? But still, you still didn't want no strikes against you
Right.
if you had something coming up, a visit.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you had a furlough, or if whatever. You didn't want your phone taken away, especially if you was miles away like I was,
Yeah.
right? So what was really shocking to me is that when you see these type of things being as though, prison is your life, you know, if that's anybody that is in their background. When people have overcome prison, they go back to relating to like, dang, that you really thought of that? Like you kind of like say to yourself, like, why didn't I think of that faster than him? Right? Because he never been through the experience of prison, but he glorifies it by mentioning it in his music. Yeah. And now benefiting, he isn't the only one that has benefited in a you know, as on a millionaire, billionaire status, right, from the pain of prison. It's just that he's in the forefront of what we know about hip hop, right? He's speaking of it in his songs, and he's, you know, a well-known rapper. So we're seeing him benefit financially from.
So how much is his shoe, the slide?
The slide now has went down to $55 for adults, $45 for kids, and $35 for toddlers. But when he first started, they started at around $300.
Right, that's what I thought.
Yeah. So now they're sold in different colors, right? So it says desert sand is as high as $210.
Oh, so the desert sand, how does that looks, well,
it's the color. I guess different colors is a different price range, right? So that's how he's selling it now. And to date, he's sold 19,200,000. Wow. That from today, that was the amount that he has made off of it. 19 million, right? And I don't know if you know, this isn't anything to go bashing Kanye or anything like that, but I don't know what he does as far as prison programs. Right. He's definitely benefiting off of the pain that prisoners have been through, right? And just to be, you know, talking about people that have been in prison or done time or glorifying them, but what are you doing? Are you giving back job-wise? Because I couldn't find anything of that. Like he doesn't have a program or charity or organization.
Maybe
that
he might
donates.
Maybe he might just put it off to, you know, because his wife does a lot of stuff for prison reform
his
and
wife
stuff
does.
like that. So,
but that's his wife and her brand,
right?
She's Kardashian first, West last, right? So she is following the likes of her father. That was already instilled in her. I have nothing for her, you know, against anything that she's doing, because she's done a great job.
Somebody tag old Kanye West and tell him we talking about him, baby. And tell him that he needs to have a reform, something going on for the prison, since he got that nice looking shoe that looked like something came out of prison.
Right, exactly. And definitely, since he celebrates the holidays, he can do that during this time, right?
Oh, yes.
Giving.
Gift of giving.
How can he give to what organization can he give to?
He can give to us. The Children's of Incarcerated Parents program.
That's right. But he isn't the only one. Right. So he's not the only one. So what was the other company that we found that they help with? It's a company, a clothing company.
Peru?
It's a clothing company called Carousel.
Oh, yeah.
And so they make clothes in prison, but they're not worn in prison. They're worn outside of prison. Right? And when you get out, you can work for them.
That's and I like that they have that program.
And they're one of the highest sold companies in the industry. Like they make the most money out of all of them. There was 5, but they make they make the most money, right? So they're the ones that they started by a woman had went to visit one of the prisons, and she started by selling menstrual cups. Really? So the women in prison, especially overseas, wouldn't have a mess when they had, their cycle. And so she developed a company for them to have a cup to place inside of them. So instead of with tampons, with the things with tampons being so unsanitary in prison,
they get infections.
They would clog up the toilets and things like that, infections, and they didn't want to get you know, a lot of women didn't want to get go to the nurse to get pap smears and things while they were locked up. Some people are just against that, right? And so to prevent that, they came up with ways for them to give them a cup while they were on their cycle. So she went inside and seen that. She went inside and seen that, and when she was introducing that, there was another prison helper that was trying to figure out a way to help the ladies in prison, and so then they came out and they decided to develop a company, and what is it, Peruvian company that they sell over here in the U.S.
That is
so
a good idea. So
when you get out, you can get a job through
right. So that's a good way of being helping each other. Far as people in prison get out and use their gift. Yeah. You know, I'm quite sure they sat there and sold sewing, crocheting and stuff like that. So
right. They sell a lot of knitted products because every time I looked up the highest fashion company that was prison inspired, their company came up first. So, and I looked on their site and they have things to do with a lot of knitting and knitted sweaters and felt. Oh. Yeah, things that were made out of felt. So like different flowers and names and things like that. They were hand stitched on their products. So anything to do with the hands, they're make a lot of handmade products.
So this is another way to think of, you know, when you're in prison and you have a lot of time in your hand, you have ideas, write them down and think of ways how when you get out of prison that you can utilize your talents and gifts and stuff. And hey, if you sew for textile in prison, you could come out and sew and make patterns and build your own business.
The textile industry is very high in prison because they make the gloves, they make hats, scarves, coats. They make a lot of ski outerwear. They make a lot of outerwear in prison, right? And so those companies are wanted. Like, for instance, I was also looking up, I seen that Victoria's Secret and JCPenney's uses prisons to make a lot of their stuff. Like, it was very high on Victoria's Secret, JCPenney's, and Eddie Bauer.
Eddie Bauer, yeah, I remember Eddie Bauer had some involvement in the past.
Yeah, and they still do. They use the prison system to develop their products, but you cannot get out and get a job there.
No,
you can. It's like, I can work for you, but you know, behind the scene, I can slave for you, but I'm not good enough to be in the boardroom with you.
They're only paying $1 an hour, if that.
Right. But tell me why I'm not good enough. I can't come tell. I gotta come tell you my story. Like, they won't deny you the interview.
Okay. So you go to the interview, you fill out the application, they call you for an interview, and then once you get into the interview, they just X you out?
They have a corporate reason, a corporate excuse about why they won't give you the job.
And what is that? You find that out?
No, I didn't.
We need to do it. Go ahead and try to do an interview.
I will do that on the second, the second part. But this is the first part of this that I just thought it was interesting for us to bring up during Christmas time, right? To where products matter, right? So you have these Yeezy slides, these PS5, right?
Yes.
You have all these things, and a lot of the things that you want, that your kids want, are made from people in prison. Right? From the labor, slave labor. So if you're paying attention to where your dollars are going, regardless of who you are,
right,
you always should know where it's coming from. That's all. We're just shedding light. It's just shedding light on, are we really paying attention to our dollars? You know, when we're in this world of, we're so focused on COVID.
Right.
And we're so worried about not dying or catching COVID. But the other part of it it hit all of our finances. Every last one of us. I don't care who you are, rich or poor. And you've seen a lot of people, especially the rich people, humble down.
Oh, they humbled themselves. Most majority of them.
They might be back up on their high horse now because they feel like the world is open, but you're still trying to figure out what are you going to do if it happens again, right?
Trying to recreate yourself, seeing what you can do virtually.
Right, because I'm not here saying that I love fashion, everything about it, right? I'm a designer.
Miss Fashionista herself.
But I'm looking at it now to where it's like you're paying attention to how I still love Louis Vuitton and Chanel, but it's not that important for me to run and get it anymore. I still have my old ones. They're doing just fine.
Yeah. Oh, that same one is recycled every year. I mean, they make the same stuff. It does not change.
Yeah, so it's like we need to be conscious of where our money is going, right? Especially being in an entrepreneur frame, they're giving out more help. I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
You don't have an excuse, right?
No.
You shouldn't have an excuse for 2022. If you're an entrepreneur, there's so much help.
It is a lot of help.
And there's so many people turning down these jobs that they're coming up with good ideas like this, making money off of prison-inspired things, right? So next, I want to talk about Martha Stewart, right?
Oh, Martha.
And the reason why I'm bringing up Martha Stewart is because I've been having a prison-inspired cookbook, like for the whole time that I was there. But it's been on a flash drive and typed out since 2004, right? I have not produced it yet.
And why
it's
not?
It's still just dragging my feet. No excuses.
I know.
No excuses. I'm just being accountable for it, right? And what I'm learning is that we're being selfish by holding on to things that could help somebody else, serve the community, right?
Yeah.
So when you go in prison and you write out all these things about all these accomplishments that you're gonna make once you're released, when you get out in the world, you tend to procrastinate.
That's because when you're out, everything is moving so fast. It's just moving so fast. The days go by so fast. You're busy doing this and that. It's like you can't focus on what you had back in prison. Because look, I sat there and put in my journal I was going to write a book. I still have not written that book, and you keep on badgering me. Please hold me accountable. 2022, I will have that book written. But, it's like everyday life just grab a hold of you and you just
so
put it
takes you back to being selfish, right? And like you said, everything's moving so fast, right? So the reason why I was researching Martha Stewart and about when she was locked up, somebody told her to one of her friends that she was doing stocks with, told her to pull her money out.
Yep.
So she went and did 10 months, half in and half out, for trying to save herself for $45,000. In the midst of her saving herself and not being a snitch,
right?
Looking out for her friends and for herself. First of all, let's start there. Selfish, right? Looking out for herself and not taking her friends down because of what she chose
to do.
She ended up coming out of $195,000 because she obstructed justice and she lied. Okay. So she was a part of a conspiracy, right? Out of that, one thing I respect about her is that she never one time glorified anything to do with prison.
No.
Ever since she's been home, and she went to a camp just like I went to a camp, right? So where she was at was not that bad, but nobody can tell somebody else's pain.
Right.
15 days could be too long for 15 versus 15 years. 15 years could be a cakewalk to somebody, right? So I did 8 years, 10 months out of a 10-year sentence, right? That wasn't no cakewalk.
No.
That was very hard,
and then when you think
very lonely. very depressing.
And when you think about it, I know somebody, she didn't spend 90 days in prison and killed herself.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, so you can't, it's...
That's what I'm saying. So I don't ever, it used to be, I would sit at the table with a lot of people that had life.
Life. That's why I never talk about time. Ooh,
I didn't never talk about, like, I honestly can say, Alice Johnson, I was in there with her. I was in there when she started her time. She never one time told nobody how much time she got.
Really?
What she do 20 years later, she's on TV with Trump and Kim Kardashian.
Yes,
but
she
I
was.
did the time when she first got there. She never one time, all she did is come up to the table or whatever table and ask to trade a TV day.
Okay.
She asked to trade a TV day, right?
That's it.
That's real. That's straight up,
Okay.
right? That lady never did nothing but praise dance, watch politics, and watch the news and praise God. That's all I can.
That's all you can
that
say.
With my two eyes. Nobody
Isn't
told me
that
that,
something?
right? So back to Martha Stewart. Oh, and also since she been home, she got a lot of game from in prison. All she did is talk about herself, right? She didn't try to glorify the pain of nobody else because she left a lot of people behind that she would love to see out, right? Martha Stewart never said anything or tried to gain any fame or income off of prison. Okay. But she could.
Yeah, she could.
Because she did the time. That's the difference of what I'm trying to make, right?
Between her
it's
and Kanye
saddening to look at somebody that isn't of the prison system. Right. To benefit so well off of it. And when we've tried ourselves to benefit off of anything that we've done, we don't get the support, right?
Right.
So she has, Martha Stewart has some prison recipes that she has brought on her show.
Oh, wow.
They didn't look too appealing to me. They didn't give the prison the respect of what it really does.
What was the dish that she brewed up?
I seen her make something with some Doritos. And that's really a lot of... That's the main source of the prison meals, right?
It's Doritos, yeah.
It's Doritos. And
nachos,
I would just like to say that...
chips.
Like I said, she's doesn't continue to talk about it. People keep trying to talk to her about when she was locked up, and she keeps telling them, wasn't nothing nice about it. I was away from my family. I didn't like it. It was only 5 months, y'all say only, but it was something to me, right? But I mean, what did they want her to get for lying? How long should she have been penalized for lying?
I mean, she shouldn't even done that much time, to tell you the truth.
I don't know. I'm trying to say, like, what was she supposed to get for covering up for her friends? Because, I mean, you see the government do it all the time, right?
Oh, all the time, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what she was supposed to receive for that, but I think that the punishment fit the crime. She being as though she had never been in handcuffs until
in her
that
life.
incident.
Oh, I know that was traumatizing.
I bet. So the lesson out of this today, as we serving the people, is that any and every single thing that you want to do, you just have to do it.
You got to do it.
You got to get out and make sure that you're not looking for the people that know you, though. You're trying to catch the people that don't know you, right? And whoever doesn't know you is always going to support you more than the people that know you, because that's more reason why they're interested, right? That you took the risk, you took the chance, you know? Today in politics, right? I seen the case, right? Hello, Stro, how are you doing? Thanks for tuning in.
Hi.
Today in politics, they talked about the Dante Wright situation.
Yeah.
I'm here, no judging, no judgment, right? Just how do you feel about that situation? Because a mother and a father lost a child, right? And so regardless of what his background was, a human being, right, a kid. And so what's your take on her being an officer for so long and her being a parent, her physically seeing a child in front of her, and she was with another officer, so I'm trying to see where there was the threat, right? If that was the excuse, right? So what is your take about how that will play out in court? Because they're in court right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You never know what the jury is gonna acquit her or anything, because everything's so unpredictable nowadays. It's like you don't put your all into it, because you're gonna be disappointed either way it goes. You're going to be disappointed if she get acquitted. You're going to be disappointed if she don't get enough time, if she's convicted. So I feel that it's a tragedy that this young boy had to lose his life. I wish she would have taken better precaution, thought about it, because although she was training the other guy, the cop, she should have just let the boy drive off and gone about, go, because eventually you would have caught up with him at home, at the front door or something like that. You would have caught up with the car.
I don't feel that the training, was she overdoing the training and she might have got caught up in the moment? Or do you think that she knew the difference between
she should know
weight
the
wise?
Difference. She should know the difference. She's been too off in the game, 20-some years as an officer. She should know what how that gun feel and that taser
because
is.
There's a difference.
It is a total difference.
How much it weighs, right? How much the Glock weighs versus a taser weighs, right?
And the size.
Right.
The sizes, different sizes. So it's, yellow, big yellow bird. Come on now.
Yellow or black.
Okay, right. You should have saw it. It's in front of your.
Right.
Okay. Let me draw back.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's we'll see what happens in court when they deliberate, jury, and they get everything, instructions and all that. See what happens. That's all we can do.
Yeah. Just justice. That's all I want. Justice. The jury's been doing okay, I guess, so far with going with reasonable doubt and evidence, right? Okay. Everybody was upset about Kyle Rittenhouse or whatever, but the jury's seen fit of the videos of him being harassed and knocked down and pushed around, regardless of the fact his mom gave him the gun to take.
Saying that with the mother giving him the gun, now we're seeing the two parents
that went to jail.
That's in jail now.
Yeah, now that's good. So
they gave the gun to their son.
Yeah, they should be in jail. Right, they should be in jail.
Should. What about Rittenhouse mother?
But he got acquitted.
And they threw the gun out before.
I'm assuming they're trying not to make the same mistake twice, right? With making sure that the parents go to jail this time, right? For giving their kid the gun to kill 4 other kids, right? Yeah. All right. And on to the entertainment.
Yes. What you
part
got?
of it, Jesse Smollett.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I had not been following. I didn't even know there was even, he was still having a trial. I thought that stuff got thrown out. Dismissed.
No. The feds picked that up. Oh. Yeah. So with him, that situation this week, I feel that he's still lying. There's some lies going on. I don't know what it is, right? Still no judgment, but it's just fishy. It's just not adding up. Why are you asking the police to step in your house and you don't want the neighbors to see and all of this? You had too many rules to be, for you to be assaulted, right? Now, the brothers. I feel that he did probably mess with one of the brothers. Somebody got mad. So I don't know how that situation goes. He messed with one of the brothers, though, right? And he said that he did, right?
See, I haven't been keeping up with it. But you know what? I feel that he should never have done anything just like that. Even if he started or he pretend like someone did all this type of stuff. Why? You're already in the limelight. You're popping already. You got money. Why? Why be stooped to that level and you killed your whole career?
Right.
You murdered yourself.
But he didn't know that though.
He should. I don't. You should have knew something. You should have thought like, if I say this and I get busted, what? That's the thing. We don't think about the consequences of what we do. We don't.
Consequence of your actions, right?
Nope. So hey, how much time is he looking at? What's the max?
It's minor.
Okay.
It's nothing. It's not no. I mean, I don't think even years, right? So
and why I don't understand why is it so publicized, this court? I mean, it's just
it's publicized because he said
it's
a hate crime.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
Yeah.
There's people that really have been victims of that.
Yeah,
why would
right.
you say something like that?
Yeah.
And with the way of the world and what we go through as a black people,
right?
Why would you do that? I don't know. It's just something fishy about it. And then you're in Chicago of all places. One of the murder capitals of the world,
okay,
right? Why would you say something like that? And you're in that 3 years. Yeah, 3 years. He could get 3 years. So,
well,
I mean, I don't know if he deserves 3 years.
No.
Right? For lying?
No, that's...
If Martha Stewart got 5 months, 10 months, excuse me, 5 months in, 5 months out.
Okay, right.
I mean, he should be slapped on the hand.
He already lost a lot of money.
He's lost all the money. Yeah. He's lost his reputation for that one lie, for them few seconds, right? I don't understand. I don't understand that, right?
Oh my God!
Yeah,
he thought he was going. Oh my God! He thought he was gonna be on and popping, baby.
Yeah, he did.
He thought he was gonna go to the next level.
He did.
He went down notches.
Right. He thought Hollywood was gonna be a knocking about the story, right?
No. It might be a story without paying him now.
Right.
It might be let him go to jail.
Knocked him out.
Let him go to jail. They're gonna have a lifetime story on his name. No proceeds.
Well, thank you for tuning in this week, y'all.
And we guys, please check out our sponsors at Cashmere Lux Hair Salon. Got great natural hair care products, so you can tune in and tap into www.cashmereluxhairsalon.com and for all your
skincare needs.
Yes.
You can go to Lena Beans Organic Plus at lenasbodybutterplus.com.
Waist trainers, waist shapers, activewear. Go to www.bossedupbeauties.com.
Thank you for tuning in.
Have a good day, guys.
I'm in the right direction. I'm into this ocean. Traveling in slow motion. Paddling with no question.